Hi! Welcome! If you're new here, my name is Flossy and this is Siren Step Van, my tiny home on wheels. Welcome to the Step Van conversion van tour. Let me show you around. There's a whole lot of new people here, I know. Thank you so much for joining. And some of you have been following me for a while and not seen a full tour of my home. I bought this 1999 Ford E350 step van almost 2 years ago now. I spent a year of that building it, ripped out the interior that was in it, started from scratch and built everything that you see in this van today all by myself, with a couple of bits and pieces of help from my friends along the way. I have a full step van conversion playlist and I'm gonna link it up here so that you can go watch it if you want. This van is 22.5 feet long and it is a Ford E350 engine in a Utilimaster body, Ford chassis, and it is a V8. It's a 1999, which is the newest vehicle I've owned in a very long time. My previous van, which I lived in for 4 years, was a 1977 Chevy high top Vandura. You can see videos about that one up here too. I love this van. I love it most of all because it is aluminium, it does not rust, and all the sides when building are straight and for the most part close to a right angle, and there are no curves in the walls, which is what you get with most of your Sprinters, your Dodge ProMasters, and all the kind of super popular ones. You have this front entrance, which is kind of like the wet room. Now, some people remove the first bulkhead wall in a step van to open up the entire space, but because I wanted to be a little bit more stealthy, have some privacy and security, I've kept my bulkhead. That locks, and so all of my living space on the interior is fully secure and private from the front area. With all of this glass in the front, this can be a sunroom, but in winter it is very damp and very cold. I love this van because it has a sliding door. Leave it open for the breeze, and there is a nice footwell to enter in. At the moment, I keep my firewood here. I am semi-nomadic, and I do that mostly in British Columbia, Vancouver Island, greater area. But that influenced a number of my design and build decisions because the Pacific Northwest, from Washington, Seattle, Portland, all the way north, it's very, very wet. But it meant everything had to be really, really properly insulated. Making sure that you have a vehicle that is well heated, well insulated, and moisture resistant is the key for living in damper climates. I recently installed propane in my van, and I was having trouble finding an RV installer who would be willing to do it for me because this is a DIY custom build. In here is my underslung propane locker. I have a horizontally mounted 20-pound propane tank which is bolted to the frame, very easy to undo, really solid, is not going anywhere, and this insulated protected pipe runs underneath the chassis to go to the other side for my propane oven, and eventually my on-demand hot water heater will also be connected to this propane tank. Being able to cook in an oven and full stove has been something that I've been looking forward to for a very long time. Welcome to the inside of my van. One thing that I really wanted with this van was a large amount of cooking space, food preparation that was bright from this window. In fact, I installed 2 windows into this vehicle after I bought it, and I really enjoy being in places where I can look outside and appreciate nature. There is a lot of my style in this space, starting with this was used for sewing utilities, buttons, needles, threads, snaps and pins, and now I have put all my tea inside. Each little box has a little piece of Velcro at the back to hold them in when I drive, and my beautiful salt and pepper shakers sit on top of here. You might notice a running theme of copper. I love the color. It is such a warm and homey, cozy feeling that I have gone out and started collecting slowly but surely all of my kitchen utilities, bits, pieces, crockery in copper color. Over this side we have my little liquor cabinet. When I was building it, we had a little naming contest. The gin bin was the winning name. Chopping board, tea press, herbs and spices, and a little candlestick, because at night time I have these bright light LED lights, and when I want some more cozy ambience, I love lighting a candle. It just makes the space feel so beautiful and cozy. In the Pacific Northwest, it gets really cold and really damp. We get a lot of rain and it snows. I have a cubic mini wood stove. This is the Grizzly, which is the bigger of the 2, and I definitely recommend the bigger one because it only requires stoking every 4 hours, and if you use extra hardwood, sometimes it can last longer than that if you really get it roaring and shut it down. This gorgeous farmhouse sink, which means I'm running water. I have a water pump underneath, 12 volt, which pumps out water, and eventually we'll also have an on-demand hot water heater underneath this counter, so I will have hot and cold water. I have a small cupboard here. It is my wetsuit drying room, yet to be constructed, but this is the purpose of it. Currently it looks like a broom closet. I am a freediver. I do a lot of underwater exploration, and I recently made my first underwater film. You can view it now online via my website, flossyroxx.ca. I have this cute little door. Currently I've got hooks on it and it helps for storage space. The back of my van is my bed. It's a queen size bed. Technically you could say this van sleeps 3. 2 in here, and then I have a spare bed just here. I'll show you that in just a second. This sheet set, I bought a nice plain one, and I dyed it this gradient of yellow to orange to match my life. This, where I'm storing my camera gear right now, tucks all the way down as a 6-foot long spare bed. Daytime, it doubles as a couch seat. One thing that was also super important to me was having a space to eat, work, and host. I love having people come into my space to share a meal. So to have 2 seats, it was really important to me. So with this lagoon table, I have a space where we have a movable table, and a desk for working. The thing about making a space purely for your own needs means you can design things like a spare bed, like a quarter berth that I have over there, and a dinette that exactly meets my needs for my hosting, working, and everyday use. I love it so much! To storage, every spare square inch in a van has to be used. So I have these cute little cupboards that sit behind each of my dinette seats. Storage is really important to me. So I have the 3 drawers under this bench. I'm building a couple more underneath the bench, underneath my fireplace, which is right next to my fridge. My fridge is a 120 volt fridge. It only takes about 40 watts when it is resting and has a really great temperature sensor, so it is not drawing power all the time. I have a composting toilet which sits right under the bench, and it is really amazing because I made that thing myself. Composting toilets can be the most expensive thing you have to buy when building a van. That is not always the case. A lot of the stuff in here was scrap wood, reclaimed materials, like the wall cladding. The things that look fancy are often the ones that cost me the least. So I built this one big overhead cabinet. It is amazing. Contains so many things. This end, I have clothing. Here, I have some appliances and some personal objects. It is beautiful to have such a large storage area. And it secures while driving. The back of my garage. This is the garage of my van. I love nothing more than coming to a forest, opening the back doors and letting the sun, daylight and fresh air stream in. Underneath here I have my battery system. In future I will have my diesel heater and some other clothing storage. On this side you can see the end of my quarter berth spare bed. Let me show you. This battery box contains 4 6-volt lead acid golf cart batteries. Very soon, this will be my brand new 200 amp hour, and there's 2 of them, lithium ion batteries, and I cannot wait to install them. So you're going to have to follow along because we've got a huge electrical install for all of this coming soon. Before I end the video, I posted on my Patreon to ask a few questions about the van build process and what they all might want to know. You may have noticed a few bones here and there. I think it's important to include special memories and sacred items that have meaning and impact in one's life into one's house. I think everybody does that, whether they're religious whether they're spiritual, whether they're not. I need my lithium ion batteries installed and I need my solar panels. I have everything. I'm just missing somebody to build a roof rack for me, and then very soon we are doing the install of most of that electric system. So keep an eye on the channel, it's coming soon. I really think that using flooring for some of my walls was amazing. A step van, of course. And more effort on some of my cabinetry. I'm probably going to end up redoing some of those cabinets because I moved into the van before all of the things were finished. That's always the crux. If you move into a building site, you then tend to cut corners because you have to make the space livable. Siren, well, I'm a diver. I love the ocean, and a siren, as you know, has a call and has an effect on people. She is a land pirate ship. A huge thank you to my Patreons for those awesome questions. I will probably give you some more detailed answers over on Patreon at some point, but this video has been a huge lot of fun to make. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the button down below. A lot of new people are here, so make sure you hit the bell to make sure you actually get to see the rest of my videos as they come up. I hope you have a new appreciation for step vans. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next Friday.